touch don't speak to me without my fucking C-O-N-S-E-N-T.
Welcome in, everybody. Please tap the screen, share out the live. We'll begin shortly.
Sometimes the world can be a cruel place, and everything feels too hard to face. Sometimes this life is just too much. Deadlines, bills, and a world out of touch. We all could use some good advice, some words of hope when the days ain't nice. A little laughter, a listening ear, words of praise and good cheer. Somewhere that feels familiar to say. You can feel safe with open arms and a warm embrace. Auntie's here. Come on in, sugar, sit right down. Auntie's here, so lose that frown. He's gonna help you make it through with a cup of kindness and a word or two. Let it out, sugar, if you need to cry. She's got your favorite snack or a lullaby, caring eyes and a knowing smile. Come and stay with Auntie for a while. Auntie's here. Auntie's here. Auntie's here. Auntie's here. Honey, you got determined to be here. Auntie's here. Auntie's here. Auntie's here. Auntie's here. She makes your troubles disappear. Laugh until we start to cry.
Talk about the reasons why.
Some things heal and some things scar, but she'll always meet you right where you are. So grab a notebook and grab a pen. You'll want leave your fears and let your auntie poke your ears. She'll make it all crystal clear. Auntie's here. Auntie's here. Auntie's here. You won't wanna miss a single word she'll say. Your favorite auntie's here.
Welcome in, everybody. Good morning, creative camper. Oh, I don't want to hear that song again. Love that, but no, thank you. Brad, good to see you. Sunny, welcome in. Silly Goose, good to see you. Craig Dog, good to see you. Grana, Xana, Tiffany, so many amazing people. Kimberly, Gay AF, Ken and Paper, thank you for 1 year. I really appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Yes, I have an Auntie sermon for you this morning. I just want you guys to know, I kept thinking that I was finished with Genesis, and then I would find like one more. And I actually found out that I had started an Auntie sermon a few months ago and never finished writing it when I was putting together the workbook. And I will be coming out with Genesis Auntie Sermons Volume 1 on paperback. So if you want, you can read the Auntie Sermons. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you?
I'm good. Just sitting out on my porch listening to my little rooster crowing over there. I just came up to tell you that Huh?
It sounds like the rooster's having a good morning.
Those little assholes, they crow all the time. I mean, sun up to sundown. Now I just came up to say that you are just such a beautiful person, and I'm so thankful that I ran across you in your lives.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. You have no idea, because sometimes, I don't know, I feel like, am I doing all of this for nothing? I don't know.
No.
Silly Goose, thank you. At least I got the volume working and the picture. I need somebody to help me figure out why I can't make it normal size anymore, Silly Goose. So I'm just going to have to talk to somebody. Somebody with YouTube experience, please DM me. I need help with OBS and YouTube. I cannot fix it for some reason.
Oh, hey, I was wondering if you're still going to be at the Rocket City Reason.
I'm not positive yet. I have some concerns about some things, and I'm waiting to hear back from some people about some things, and I don't know. I haven't really fully decided yet. So I will let you guys know if for sure or not. I know Mama Bash is going to be there. I think Pinkbeard is going to be there. I know a lot of amazing people are going to be there, and it's something that I definitely want to do. I have a lot going on this year. I do have to have surgery on my knee, most likely, and there's a possibility that I have to have a hysterectomy. Because there's a possibility that I do have uterine cancer. So we just have a lot of tests that we're going through right now. And once I'm get more information about that, I'll know what my year is going to look like. Frankly, there might be a lot of recovery for me coming up. So
well, the reason I was asking is because I was going to give you a warning if you do come. I am going to squeeze the stuffings out of you. Like, I'm going to squeeze all the stuffings out.
I appreciate that.
That is if you're okay with
Grandma
the big...
Xana, yeah, I do like hugs. I'm a hugger.
Fantastic. Well, anyway, if you'll drop me down, I'll sit in the comments and tap, tap, tap. And I hope you have a great day, my love.
You. Thank you. You too. Have a wonderful day. If you are a friendly Grandma Xana, I see you there. Bread, Ace, good morning, good morning. If any of you want to come up and Creative Camper, hang out with me while I do my sermon. I hate being alone. You guys know that already. But let's try to get 9 more people in here. Keep sharing out the live. Keep tapping the screen. Do your heart me's. Collect your team points. Thank you, Creative Camper. I feel pretty good about it. The doctor was like, the crazy thing is with uterine cancer, usually a hysterectomy solves everything. So, but unfortunately, it's just that I have to have other surgery probably this year too. And, surgeries take a lot out of you. There's and I'm just so tired of having health issues and dealing with doctors and insurance and all the shit that goes along with it. You know what I mean? Like, it just sucks. But I want to just thank you all for being here. You guys, we do have drop gifts available now. If you want to just do that, you can. Or you can send the swan if you want. Also, there are many ways you can support the show. If you want to see all the many ways you can support the show, just click the link in my bio. Look for that symbol right there, and you can find all the many ways you can support the show. I'd like to get a few more people in here. Oh, nope, you're... Okay, by the way, 3 of you have swans available for drops, okay? Let me tell you who they are. Ace, Reckless Religion, and Creative Camper all have free drops because they already did their swans. So, if I have somebody up here and you don't like them, you guys have free drops, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Sometimes, though, Ace, people send another swan before I even remember that there's a swan on deck that I can use. And so I forget. I'm like, oh yeah, I already had a swan on deck. But if you guys are in chat and you remember, and there's somebody up here you guys hate, and Ace isn't here, you guys can remind me that we can use Ace's swan, okay? No, I know you are a busy person, Ace. Ace has amazing lives. If you're not following Ace, you should be. Dr. Bowen is on there frequently, and a lot of really just wild Christians join Ace's show. And make sure that you talk to Ace or Brett if you want to join Ace's Discord. I also have a Discord. That link is in my bio. My Discord is a very quiet little Discord, but come join. We have a lot going on over there. We play D&D on the first Saturday of every month. It's just a one-shot, so you don't have to have any D&D experience. If you've never played D&D and you want to join us, join my Discord. We also do Hebrew class. On some Fridays, we check in on Thursday or Fridays to see if class is still on, because we have Rav who does our free Hebrew class, and so he's an actual real working rabbi. He can't always be there to teach class, but I do record the classes, and we post them in the Discord. So if you want to, I haven't uploaded the last one. I really suck at this. And if you would like to volunteer to record my Hebrew classes when we have them, that would be awesome, because it screws up my OBS for YouTube whenever I do it. So, yeah. Yes, I think we did. Okay, you guys, look, I have a new flash goal. This little flash goal is just 1 coin each. I just need 11 different people to give me one heart puff thing.
Everybody follow each other in chat. Just do that, okay?
I know Lucifer is also amazing. You guys need to be following. Everybody follow each other in chat. Just do that, okay? Just everybody start following each other, because you're all amazing. Cred Dog is a wood burning artist, and they go live, and you can watch them while they're doing it, and it's amazing. So, yeah, just follow each other. If you're not following each other, you're missing out on real amazing people in the community, for sure.
I want to
right? Amazing. I want to do an art show in my Discord. I want to do where we pick a specific day in July, maybe do like a holiday in July craft show or something on my Discord, and we can have all the artists come and share their art and hopefully sell some of their art, and let people know, because I think that we have so many amazing artists in this community. If you would like to do that with me, if you think that's a good idea, send me a DM, because I'd really like to do it. It's something I've been thinking about for a while, and I think that it's just amazing. Robin, good morning. I don't know why you're not up here sitting with me. You should be. Get on up here. If you're a friendly, you guys, somebody should come hang out with me, because I'm a nice lady. I will be live tomorrow for a while with Jaron on Christ Before Jesus. If you haven't followed me, please follow me. I am trying to reach 10,000 followers by my birthday, which is June 29th. This is my birthday month. And I have a big birthday trip planned. So if you, want to help me, have a really good birthday, there are ways to do so. Just, let me know. If you do something like that, you have to let me know because I don't get the notifications when I'm live. Good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good morning, Crystal. I'm in a good
So
mood,
good to
but
see
I don't
you.
feel good. The anemia is acting up today, so I'm feeling lightheaded and weak, and today is a day of rest. I gotta take it easy today.
Oh, well, that's good.
I'm glad to hear.
But yeah,
I'm glad
I'm
you're
in a
resting
good mood
today.
otherwise.
Okay,
Hi,
that's
Kim.
good. I'm glad to hear.
Hello, Robin.
It's good to see another bird on the panel. Actually, CrystalJae, you could be a CrystalJae bird. You know what they say, birds of a feather flock together.
That's true. That's true. Yes, we do. I need to make a new background so that sometimes Dr. Bowen will come up on my live. So I think I might put, why are like women slaves or something? Like I need to make it women based, but about slavery. So he'll come up on my live too, because I don't do the slavery topic a lot, and that's his expertise, and that's where he rocks, right?
I had a
Oh, sorry.
public.
You go, Ken.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I had a public speaking teacher in college, professor, and what you said, Robin, reminded me. She would give us like more sophisticated ways to say things like birds of a feather flock together. She would say avian species of plumage congregate. And I loved it. Like, that has stuck with me for 30 years.
Yeah, make it sound like instead of Shakespeare wrote it, Dr. Spock wrote it. Love it. Just give me a hard time.
Right.
I was going to say, I love when Dr. Bowen's on panel, I'm able to pick his mind about like specific scriptures or stuff that happened in history. Because I'm sure, like a lot of people, go into bed at night and you'll be like, wait a minute, I remember that. And then the mind starts going.
How do I do my gift goal now? I don't have a gift goal, and I don't know how to do it. When I go up, I show a gallery, but I don't get to do a gift. How do I do it now? Like, do you guys know how to set your gift goals now?
I'd watch to start going live, but I don't know. I don't know. I wish I did. But I'd like to go live one day. I'm just not ready.
Yeah, I'm completely dumb when it comes to actually going live. I can Google it real quick on my phone.
It says set as gift goal. So I click it. And then instead
It's really weird because when I click, it says set as gift goal. So I click it. And then instead, it brings up my super fan thing instead, which is, how people can subscribe to me. But I'm not trying to do my super fan thing. I'm trying to literally set a real gift. And I used to have it. It just disappeared. Like, I have a very standard gift goal. It's the octopus. And I stay an extra hour if I meet my gift goal, but I can't make one now.
Lucifer, do you want to come up and tell me what to click? If you want, you can. If you know how, I would love to do it.
Lucifer, do you want to come up and tell me what to click? If you want, you can. If you know how,
Hey,
I would
Lucifer.
love to do it.
Lucifer, please enlighten us. You are the light bearer. Tell us.
5 more pink hearts. They're just 1 coin each. Can you just please send me?
Y'all, I need 5 more pink hearts. They're just 1 coin each. Can you just please send me those real quick? Let's hit that. I got 8 minutes. Okay, what do I do, Lucifer?
Yeah, TikTok made it all glitchy. For the gift thing, you have to, when you're setting it up, you have to pick 3 and then check it with the little circle on it and then set it. People have to first finish it, and then when you reset it, it made it weird. I hate it, but yeah,
Oh, but so you don't know how to do it right now, though, from where I am right now?
yeah, I'm not a mod, but when you're a host and you want people to do a specific gift, you have to pick 3 and then put how many you want.
Right. I'm asking where do I go to do that? It's gone. The thing that I used to click that said set gift goal, it's gone.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. It does that in my live where it disappears. It's a TikTok glitch. It happens to my live when I'm live all night. It usually disappears until people actually meet it, and then it reappears. It's a glitch. It happens all the time. I don't know why it does that.
I hear Mr. Krabs in the background.
Yeah, I had that last night because I had some horrible guests yesterday. But yeah, it's a TikTok glitch. I don't know if TikTok's gonna fix it, but yesterday it was doing it to me too, where people couldn't send me anything for a bit, and then it disappeared. I think it's just the app, since it's the update. People have been having a lot of issues. So,
Alright, I'm gonna see if there's something new. Because I know Mama Bash is always able to do it. Let's see.
Not me listening to Lucifer's background, trying to figure out what episode I was listening to.
Yeah, this sucks. Now I'm sad. That's such a big part of like doing the.
Yeah, this sucks.
Your goals and shit, they push you.
No, I'm sad. That's such a big part of like doing the fucking show is because when you reach your goals and shit, they push you out more. And look, I'm sitting at 13. I'm not getting pushed out. I'm gonna do a reset. You guys better all come back. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna do a reset, see if I can set the gift goal before I go live, and I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes, y'all. If you're over on YouTube, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
It made me not like her because I liked her at first, but after them 3 episodes, I was just like, yeah, I'm straight on Dolly. Dolly is like a big ass. When you know when them damn, what's the girl? Now? I don't know her name, but it was like 3 new girls had came to the chat. 3 new girls had came to the show, and I was on the bus one day, and Dolly was trying to like little bully them and shit. I'm like, bro, I don't know if this like a script. I don't know, but it just gave.
I know that's what the coach was saying. They said she started getting on them pills and shit. They said she was on that bitch tripping out. She sure was. I don't know where that shit came from. She was trying to back over.
She was tweaking out.
She was came on that bitch. She was chilling. She wasn't on no shit in the middle of that season.
Like, she was like, no, I know what it was. It was like, we the big 3. We the big 3, bitch. How old is we, hoe? That's what pissed me off. That's what it was, G. That's what pissed me off, that big 3 shit. How you trying to go big 3 for big 3? How nobody's trying to steal the title. They didn't come in this hoe like, we're the big 3. They just hanging out with each other, hoe. You put that on them. That's what pissed me off for her. So now they gonna run with that shit. Now they the big 3. Bitch, you put that title on them. Now they gonna run with it. I would've ran with it too. But yeah, that's why
I listen like that. That's why I had these back off. I had to die down for bad. I like her. I can't even lie, but I can't lie. You ain't lying though. She did towards the middle of the end. She just started big on them pills and shit. They said she was on more than them pills. They said she was smoking wet and shit. I don't know how true that shit is, but I know them hoes on pills. She looking for motherfucking mess. She look sheen down. She got.
I like her. She acted like a Memphis bitch at first, but shit, I don't know.
Acting like a regular bitch. She got too much money for that.
I don't know, y'all. She just started tweaking in. I don't like Rolly big New York ass.
I can't stand her big, bad by the shower.
Rolly, I like her big ass. Like, I fuck with Rolly sometimes, G.
I'm so mad Billy got locked up because she supposed to be in the fireball. She supposed to put it in all that
I
shit.
heard about that. I heard. I was just scared. I would have quit the show. Billy, I'm straight. Bitch, I would have ran.
Oh, how
Town.
shit, roller talk shit. She need a big ass bitch. That's the thing. They ain't put no big bitch her size on her. She send her big ass girls and shit.
Biggie wasn't big enough. Biggie was not big enough.
No, the fuck she did. She just fight on the reunion.
Who she fought?
She fought. She definitely fought Summer. To the source she fought Natalie.
I thought she would be friends with Summer.
Nah, she got at the end. They got two.
Rolly not a baddie for real at all.
Cause she talk shit about some of the protections all of them.
Way back. What the fuck? Bitch, you
That's what I'm saying. She said she got money. She don't keep getting her body, but I just don't understand why she keep on. That's just slow to me. Then she slow as fuck. She do anything for niggas. She sitting there. She fucking on a nigga from my hometown. He all the time. He a punk. That's really the tea of my hometown. Nigga a punk for real. She bring that nigga on the show and everything. Then tried to expose him on her Instagram. Like it was like 2 months ago.
That's weird. I ain't gonna lie.
That whole nasty.
But nah, she have been every nigga she got with. They always find they be like they expose her and be like she's evil.
He did too. He got on live about
she's not a good person.
Yeah, it was just too much. I just ain't understand the whole dynamic the whole time.
So he got on there live and say she tried to get on this whole act like she so good of a bro, that was like that hoe need to he said she need to go get some help or something, like therapy or something. I'm like, damn.
I would eat a lot of shit.
But nah, I ain't gonna know y'all. I don't watch this shit no more. This shit don't serve me. Oh, Tzatziki. I said to see what about Tzatziki?
Alone in a borrowed land, you saw me doing what I had to do, trying to obey their every command. You saw the cruelty, saw it plain, saw it hand me over like a toy. You saw what was taken again and again. You saw my body and heart destroyed. I ran when escape came into view. Believe distance might set me free, but you found me there in the wilderness and sent me back to what you could see. I named you the God who sees. They heard it as something kind. They said you saw my heart, said it was part of your design. It was never meant to compliment. I named you the God who sees. It was always an indictment. You see it all and do nothing. You see the children, you see their pain, their hunger, their bruises, their abuse. You see the men who harm them while claiming they worship you. You see global wars, you see the suffering. You see it all from your throne and do nothing. You saw it, you saw it. You saw it, you saw it. You saw it, you saw it. I didn't name you by accident. I didn't kneel, I didn't plead. I gave you a name that fit. I named you the God who sees. You saw it, you saw it. You saw it, you saw it. You saw it, you saw it. You saw it, you saw it.
I gotta do one thing real quick, and then we will get
Love that
started
song
with
so much.
Thank you. I did too. It's really one of my favorites.
If I could sing, I would sing that song. Like, now that I post more often than I used to, and I do lip sync videos, I would love to do like a lip sync to that song. The issue with that would be I would have to like hear the whole. It would be that'd be something I'd be interested later on, but I'd have to conceptualize it.
Yeah, I would love it if you did that. You guys are always welcome to do whatever you want with my songs. I have them saved as sounds, most of them on TikTok here. So, yeah, absolutely. I love that. I do have somebody who is learning Abelina Ballerina right now, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to see her version of it. It's really exciting to me. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Pride, everybody. If you are just joining us this morning, I did do a restart. But thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I really, really appreciate it. By the way, I do have the red tent now, and I'm listening to it on an audiobook. I have OCD, and so the first thing that happened when I first started listening to it was my OCD kicked in, and it kept like fact checking in real time, and it was irritating me. And so I had to reevaluate what I was doing, and I was like, wait a minute. You know, why is my OCD doing this to me? And it's probably because I've been writing so many sermons, you know, especially in Genesis. This is the last one today. This is the last one, not the last one in order, but the last one I've written for Genesis. Genesis will be now complete after I read this today. And this is the 32nd sermon for Genesis. So yeah, that's a lot. But after a while, I was like, wait, I need to start listening to this book for what it is. All these stories are fictional. Every single part of these stories is fictional. And this is somebody's fan fiction on the other fiction, right? And if I would just start thinking of it like that, maybe my brain would stop fact checking it in real time. Anyway, here we are. Today's Auntie Sermon is Rebecca, the bond of Rebecca and her mother. And we're going to go back to Genesis for this, Genesis chapter 24. Let's begin today's Auntie Sermon. There's nothing quite like the bond between a mother and a daughter. And yes, there are always going to be exceptions. There are always going to be difficult relationships, broken relationships, painful ones. But even in those spaces, there's often something still there. Something that pulls. Something that longs. Something that wants that connection. Because when something big happens, good or bad, that instinct is real. You call your mom. You run to your mom or your maternal figure. I know in my life there have been moments where my daughters have come straight to me first. I'm the first person they think of, whether it's good news or bad news. And I also know what it feels like on the other side of that. I didn't have an easy relationship with the woman who raised me, who I called mom. But even still, there were moments where she was the one I wanted. And frankly, there still are. She was the one I thought of, the one I wanted to bond with. And in this story, it's no different. A young woman is about to have her life changed. And the very first person she thinks to run to is her mother. Genesis 24:28. Then the young lady ran and told her mother's house about these words. Do you notice the difference? Do you see how it says mother's house? Hold on to that for a minute. Make a note of that because we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about how this is not a man's house. We're going to talk about how that is going to make some men, later interpreters, very uncomfortable. And we're going to talk about what this story could have been. Because this could have been a story about love between a mother and a daughter. This could have been a story about bonding. This could have been a story that showed women what it looks like to have each other, to need each other, to desire relationship with each other. This could have been a story about a single mom. A woman running her home, raising her daughter, holding her family together. We could have had a whole Reba sitcom here, but that's not the story they develop. We're not going to get much more. But we are going to get this. Her mother's house. And that matters. Because up until now, every household has been a man's. By now, you know that before we get into all the theories and interpretations, I like to start with what the text actually tells us. Rebecca's mother only appears a handful of times in the entire Bible. She is never named. She never gets her own story, but she is present at one of the most important moments in Rebecca's life. Here are the verses. Genesis 24:28. Then the young lady ran and told her mother's house about these words. Genesis 24:53. The servant brought out jewels of silver, jewels of gold and clothing, and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave precious things to her brother and her mother. Genesis 24:55. Her brother and her mother said, let the young lady stay with us a few days, at least 10. After that, she will go. Genesis 24:56 through 60. But he said to them, don't hinder me. Since Yahweh has prospered my way, send me away that I may go to my master. They said, we will call the young lady and ask her. They called Rebekah and said to her, will you go with this man? She said, I will go. They sent away Rebekah, their sister, with their nurse, Abraham's servant, and his men. They blessed Rebekah and said to her, our sister, may you be the mother of thousands of 10,000s, and may your offspring possess the gate of those who hate them. And that's the entire story. A daughter runs home to her mother. A mother receives gifts during the marriage negotiation. A mother speaks when the family discusses whether Rebekah should leave. And then Rebekah leaves to marry Isaac. We're not given anything else. We're not given a name. We're not given a backstory. We're not given a description. We're not given an explanation of what happened to her afterward. Just those verses. But as we're going to see, sometimes a few verses are enough to make people very uncomfortable, especially rabbis and church fathers. Rabbinic teachings. So what did the rabbis think? What did the rabbis do with this story? When we look at it, I want you to notice something. The rabbis are not spending their time talking about Rebekah's mother. Of course not. This story isn't about any of the women. They're spending their time trying to explain the things about this story that made them uncomfortable. And there are really two things that bother them. The first is that Rebekah runs to her mother's household. She didn't run to her father's household. The second is that Bethuel, her father, practically disappears from the story. Let's start with the mother's household. In Genesis Rabbah 67, the rabbis noticed the same thing we noticed. The text doesn't say Rebekah ran to her father's household. It says she ran to her mother's household. Rabbi Yohanan is quoted as saying that it is normal for a woman to go to her mother's house. In fact, one rabbinic tradition points to Rachel later running to her father only because Rachel's mother had already died. Rashi repeats this teaching in his commentary. The explanation is simple enough. A daughter goes to her mother. Honestly, I don't have much of a fight with that interpretation. I think most of us understand exactly what they mean. If something exciting happens, if something terrifying happens, if your life is about to change forever, there is a very good chance you're going to call your mom. But what I find more interesting is that they noticed it at all. Because they noticed it enough to explain it. They noticed it enough to ask why the text said mother's house instead of father's house. If it was no big deal, why are they pointing it out? Once you start asking those questions, you begin to realize the story is already a little different from the stories we've been reading. Then we get to the second problem. And this is where things get weird. Really weird. Let's go back to Genesis 24:50. Laban and Bethuel answered, the thing proceeds from Yahweh. He can't speak to you bad or good. That's Bethuel. That's Rebekah's father. And after that, nothing. He doesn't receive gifts. He doesn't participate in the discussion. He doesn't ask Rebekah what she wants. He doesn't bless her. He simply vanishes from the story altogether. Meanwhile, the mother remains. The mother receives gifts. The mother speaks. The mother participates in the discussion and the negotiations about Rebekah. The mother stays in the story, and apparently that created a problem. Genesis Rabbah 60:12 tries to solve it. Rashi repeats the tradition. According to this teaching, Bethuel intended to interfere with the marriage. In some versions of the tradition, an angel kills him. Now let's pause there, because that is not in Genesis. That is not in the Bible. That is not in the story we just read. That is later. A later explanation created to answer a question. What happened to Bethuel? And I find that absolutely fascinating, because think about the options available. Option 1, maybe the household was functioning perfectly well. Maybe the mother was capable of participating in these decisions. Maybe the mother didn't need Bethuel standing beside her every second of the day. Maybe the story is exactly what it appears to be. Or option 2, an angel killed somebody. Guess which one they chose? And I don't say that to mock the rabbis. I actually think they're telling us something important. They're showing us exactly where the tension in the story lives. Because if nobody was bothered by Bethuel's disappearance, nobody would have needed to explain it. If nobody was bothered by the mother's continued presence, nobody would have needed to repair the narrative. But they did. So they filled in the gap. That's what Midrash does. It finds a silence and asks, what belongs there? And I know I've told you before, and I'll say it again, that sometimes that can be really beautiful. It can be insightful. It can preserve tradition that would otherwise be lost. And sometimes it tells us far more about the people writing the explanation than it does about the actual story. Because what I keep coming back to is this: the text never says there is a problem. The text never says the household is struggling. The text never says someone must step in and restore order. The text just keeps moving. The daughter goes to her mother. The mother receives gifts. The mother speaks. The daughter leaves. The story functions perfectly well. But anxiety comes later. And that anxiety is what makes the rabbinic tradition so interesting, because instead of asking what we can learn from the mother, many of the conversations become focused on explaining the absence of the father. The unnamed woman stays in the story. But still, in this ridiculously patriarchal religion, all the attention goes to a man who's not even there. Christian and extra biblical teaching. If you thought the rabbis ignored Rebekah's mother, I don't think I need to tell you what the Christians did. Because wait until you see. At least the rabbis noticed there was a problem. They noticed the mother's household. They noticed Bethuel disappearing. They noticed something unusual was happening in the text, and they tried to explain it. The Christians mostly do something different. They simply move on. When you read commentators like Matthew Henry, John Gill, Adam Clark, or any of the others, the focus quickly shifts away from Rebekah's mother and back toward the people they think matter most. And of course, those are the men: Isaac, Abraham's servant, Laban, Bethuel, paternal authority, obedience, marriage, covenant. The mother is still there in the verses. She's just not where the attention goes. And that pattern should sound familiar by now. A woman is present. A woman participates. A woman influences the story. A woman is vital to the lineage. And yet the commentators immediately start talking about somebody else. One of the more interesting Christian observations comes from the Cambridge Bible Commentary. The commentator notices something that should jump out at us by now. The gifts are given to Rebekah. The gifts are given to the brother. The gifts are given to the mother, not the father. And the commentator admits that this creates tension in this story. Because if Bethuel is the central authority figure, why is everyone else receiving the gifts? Why is the mother involved? Why does she keep showing up while he disappears? The questions never really get answered. They're simply acknowledged and then left behind. And that's often what happens with women in Scripture. Not erased exactly, just stepped over. So when I don't find much with rabbinical or Christian teachings, I like to turn to extra-biblical traditions. And when we move into those traditions, we find much of the same thing. We look at people like Josephus. Josephus's writing in the first century in Antiquities of the Jews includes Rebecca's mother in the marriage discussions. She is still there, still unnamed, still overshadowed. But at least Josephus recognizes that she is one of the people involved in the decision. The Book of Jubilees, which is part of the Ethiopian canon, spends far more time developing Rebecca herself. Rebecca becomes a larger and more important character, but her mother almost nothing. The spotlight gets brighter, it just shines on somebody else. But at least it's another woman. The book of Jasher does much the same thing. The household remains, the story remains, but attention shifts back toward the larger family structure and the men within it. And that's really the pattern we see over and over again. Not hostility, not even necessarily disagreement, just neglect. The mother is standing right there in the text. The mother receives gifts, the mother speaks, the mother participates in the negotiations. The mother helps shape one of the most important moments of her daughter's life, one of the most important moments in both Judaism and Christianity, and yet generation after generation of interpreters look right past her. What fascinates me is that nobody seems interested in asking who she was. What was her life like? What did she think about her daughter leaving? What kind of relationship did they have? What did it feel like to watch your daughter leave home and travel hundreds of miles away to marry a man neither of you have ever met? Those questions rarely get asked because the attention keeps drifting back toward fathers, towards husbands, toward sons, toward authority, toward inheritance, toward the men. And that leaves us in a strange position. Thousands of years later, we know more about the disappearance of a man who isn't in this story than we do about the woman who actually is. And somehow that's considered normal. What makes this story different? When I research these women, sometimes it's hard to see what makes them stand out. Sometimes there's less than 5 words about them. Sometimes they don't even have a name. And when you don't have much to work with, it can be difficult to figure out what makes them unique, what makes them important, what makes them worth talking about. But this story is different, not dramatically different, not different enough that most people notice, but different enough that later commentators noticed, different enough that they felt compelled to explain it. And different enough that it stood out to me immediately, because for the first time, we encounter a mother's household. Think about that. Up until now, we followed Adam and his line, Noah's family, Abraham's household, Lot's household, Isaac's inheritance. Over and over again, the household belongs to a man. The authority belongs to a man. The identity belongs to a man. The lineage belongs to a man. The story belongs to a man. Then suddenly we get her mother's house. Not Bethuel's house, not her father's house, her mother's house. And maybe that doesn't sound like much, but words matter. The biblical authors could have written it differently, but they didn't. Then the story continues. The mother receives gifts. The mother speaks. The mother participates in the negotiations. She's doing business. She's actively involved. The mother helps decide whether Rebecca will leave. The mother remains visible while the father quietly disappears from the narrative. I mean, come on. This is like an Uno reverse card for women. Usually we're the ones who disappear. Usually we're the ones who fade into the background. Usually we're the ones who stop speaking while the men continue the story. But not this time. What strikes me is that nobody in the story seems concerned about it. Nobody runs into the room screaming that the household is collapsing. Nobody says, wait a minute, where's the man? The narrator does not allude to the fact that we should be shocked right now. Nobody stops the negotiation. Nobody calls for another authority figure. The story simply continues. Life goes on. And this seems to be perfectly normal. Even though we are constantly told that without a man during biblical times, women would simply fall apart. They wouldn't be able to function. They wouldn't be able to survive. The whole household would collapse. Society itself would apparently cease to exist. But in this story, as I said, life goes on. The household functions. The decisions get made. The daughter leaves. Everything works. And I think that's important because we've all been told that women cannot lead. Women cannot make decisions. Women cannot be trusted with authority. Women cannot supervise. Women need direction. Women need a man standing somewhere nearby to make everything legitimate. But this story seems completely uninterested in proving any of that. Whatever happened to Bethuel, the household keeps functioning. Whatever happened to Bethuel, Rebecca's future is still negotiated. Whatever happened to Bethuel, the mother remains the person in charge. The text does not appear worried. Only the interpreters do. And maybe that's what makes this story so fascinating. Not that it gives us some great feminist manifesto. It doesn't. Not that it suddenly transforms into a story about women's empowerment. It doesn't do that either. What makes it different is something much simpler. For a few brief verses, the story allows us to see a woman occupying space that later traditions often insisted belonged solely to a man. And the world doesn't end. The household doesn't collapse. The family doesn't fall apart. The sky doesn't turn black. A mother is present. A mother speaks. A mother participates. And life goes on. Mothers, daughters, and women's bonds. The one thing about these stories is that what really gets to me is not so much what the stories tell us, it's what they don't tell us. Because for a brief moment, the text gives us all the ingredients of a powerful story about women. A mother, a daughter, trust, communication, a major life decision and transition, a household centered around women. And then it abandons all of it. Instead, the story becomes about the business arrangement, the marriage negotiation, the lineage, the inheritance, the covenant, Isaac again. And don't get me wrong, I understand why those things matter to the people writing these stories. But what about the relationship between the two women? And please, let's not forget that these stories are supposedly inspired by God himself. Didn't he find our relationships important? What about the mother who raised Rebecca? What about the daughter who ran to her mother first? What about the conversation that must have happened after Rebecca came through that door? What did she say? Was she excited? Was she smiling? Was there a bounce in her step? Was she afraid? Was she scared? Was she trembling? Did her mother hold her? Did she hold her face in her hands? Did she ask her mother what she thought? Did her mother warn her? Did her mother comfort her? Did they argue? Did they cry? Did they laugh? We don't know. And that loss feels significant to me because women learn from each other. Women survive through each other. We pass knowledge to each other. A mother teaches her daughter how to navigate the world, how to stay safe, how to recognize danger, how to recognize love, how to survive disappointment, how to survive heartbreak, and frankly, how to survive men in a man's world. And daughters teach mothers too. They challenge them. They challenge their old ways of thinking. They challenge them to stand up for themselves. They change them. They force them to grow. That's why these relationships matter. That's why communities of women matter. That's why friendships between women matter. That's why mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, and mentors matter. Because none of us learns how to survive this world alone. We learn it from each other. And that's exactly why I find it so frustrating that the Bible gives us almost none of these stories. We get fathers teaching sons. We get men mentoring men. We get lineages of men. We get stories about men handing power to other men. But stories about women teaching other women, stories about mothers preparing daughters for adulthood, for marriage, for motherhood, stories about women sharing wisdom across generations, those stories are rare if they exist at all. Imagine what this story could have been. Imagine if someone had cared enough to tell us about their relationship. Imagine if someone had cared enough to let Rebecca's mother be a fully developed character. Imagine if generations of women had been given stories about healthy support systems between women. Stories about wisdom, stories about community, stories about mothers helping daughters navigate difficult choices. Instead, generation after generation of women have often had to build those examples themselves. We had to learn from our mothers, and if our mothers couldn't teach us, we had to learn from our grandmothers, and if they couldn't teach us, we learned from our friends, and if they couldn't teach us, we learned through trial and error. Because women have always found ways to pass knowledge to each other, even when the stories didn't bother to write it down. And maybe that's the real tragedy here. Not that Rebecca's mother wasn't named, not that she only appears in a few verses, but that we were standing at the doorway of a story about women loving, teaching, supporting, and guiding one another. And the authors chose to tell a different story instead. My story. Daughters and mothers need each other. That's just a fact. In a world that is still patriarchal, in a world that is still unequal for women, we need each other. There's no more important bond than the bond between a mother and a daughter. Helping a woman find her way through this world and survive it. And unfortunately, because hurt people, many women end up harming their daughters in the same way they were harmed. Abuse gets passed down. Fear gets passed down. Shame gets passed down. Somewhere along the way, somebody has to break the cycle. Somebody has to decide that it ends here. Then we have to start teaching each other, showing each other, raising women who know their worth, raising women who demand bodily autonomy, raising women who understand that their lives belong to them. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The truth is that most daughters long for a relationship with their mothers. Some of us have wonderful relationships. Some of us have difficult ones, and many of us live somewhere in between. We love them. We hurt because of them. We understand them. We resent them. Sometimes all at the same time, because when we look at our mothers, we often see the wounds they carried. We know what they endured. We know many of them couldn't have a bank account without a husband or a father. We know many of them endured harassment, assault, and abuse without ever being able to tell anyone. We know how many were trapped by expectations they never chose. So sometimes we see past the pain they inflicted on us because we know the pain that was inflicted on them. I had a difficult relationship with the woman I called mom. She was actually my aunt, but she was the only mother I really ever knew. And even though our relationship was complicated, I believe she loved me. Maybe not always the way I wanted, maybe not always the way I needed, but I believe she loved me. When I got pregnant with my oldest child and decided to get married, she did something I never expected. For a Christian woman, my mother was surprisingly liberal. I told her I was getting married. She pulled me into the kitchen. She looked me straight in the eye, and she said something that shocked me. She told me I didn't have to marry him. I want you to think about how radical that was. Because for much of our history, a pregnant woman would not have had another option. For much of our history, the decision would have already been made for her. But she wanted me to know that there were other choices. She wanted me to know I could be a single mother. She wanted me to know I still had agency. We didn't have many bonding moments like that. And unfortunately, I didn't listen to the warning she was trying so hard to give me. But I've never forgotten that conversation, because underneath all the complications and all the hurt, there was still a bond between us. And today I still miss her. And sometimes I wonder what might have been different if women had been given better examples, if our stories had mattered, if our relationships had mattered, if Scripture had spent as much time exploring mothers and daughters as it spent exploring fathers and sons. What if Rebecca's mother had a name? What if she had a story? What if she and Rebecca had conversations, disagreements, moments of tenderness, moments of wisdom, moments of frustration? What if they had been written as fully human people instead of a few scattered verses surrounding a marriage negotiation? Maybe women would have been better examples maybe women would have had better examples to draw from. Maybe generation after generation of mothers and daughters wouldn't have had to figure it all out on their own. Maybe we wouldn't have spent so much of history trying to invent healthy relationships from scratch, because that's what women have often been forced to do. Build the examples we were never given. And maybe my mother and I would have had more moments that bonded us in a loving and nurturing way. The possibility of a single mother household. I think another thing that fascinates me about this story is how hard later interpreters work to explain the absence of Bethuel. And I understand why, because if Bethuel is present, then everything makes sense according to the rules that we are used to. The father is in charge. The man makes the decision. The father controls the negotiations. The father authorizes the marriage. The father remains the center of the household. That's the model. The father, the man, that's the expectation. That's the story people are comfortable with. But what if that's not this story? What if the reason Bethuel disappears is because Bethuel disappears? What if the text is simply showing us what happened next? I know that's not exciting. There's no angel. There's no dramatic confrontation. There's no secret explanation hidden between the lines. Just a mother, a daughter, a household, and life continuing. Because here's the thing. Whatever happened to Bethuel, the story never tells us that the household falls apart. The servants don't flee. The negotiations don't stop. The marriage doesn't collapse. The family doesn't descend into chaos. Nobody arrives to rescue them. Nobody rushes to take over. The household functions perfectly well. In fact, if the rabbis had never tried to explain Bethuel's disappearance, many people probably wouldn't have thought twice about it. The story works without him, and I think that's worth sitting with for a moment, because we are constantly told that women in the ancient world could not survive on their own. They couldn't lead, they couldn't manage households, they couldn't make important decisions, they couldn't be single mothers. They would be washed up. They would be thrown away. They would be discarded. How could anybody possibly function without male authority in those ancient times? Yet, here we are, looking directly at a story where a woman receives gifts, a woman speaks, a woman participates in the business transaction, a woman appears to hold authority within her household, and everything seems to be working just fine. Now, am I saying Rebecca's mother was definitely a single mother? No, the text never says that. But in this moment, she sure acts like one. There is no man standing beside her. There is no father figure directing her conversation. And many of us who have been single mothers have been in exactly that situation. Maybe Bethuel is ill. Maybe he's a deadbeat dad. Maybe he was elderly. Maybe he's just absent. Maybe he died. We don't know. And that's exactly the point. We don't know. But what we do know is that the story does not seem concerned. The people who became concerned came much later. The people who felt the need to explain it came much later. The people who felt it would be absurd to have a single mother in the Bible came much later. The text itself just keeps moving, and I think that's because the people living these lives understood something that later interpreters struggled to accept. Women have always been capable. Women have always run households. Women have always raised children. Women have always managed from families through crisis, loss, uncertainty, and change. The only thing unusual about this story is that for a few brief verses, the text lets us just sit with it. Who benefits when women are divided? After writing the sermons for these women in Genesis, one question keeps reoccurring sermon after sermon, and that is, who benefits? And in this sermon, it is no different. I want to know who benefits when women are divided. Who benefits when mothers and daughters are disconnected? Who benefits when women don't talk to each other? Who benefits when women are taught to compete with one another instead of support one another? Because somebody benefits, or they wouldn't keep telling the stories this way. Somebody benefited by not showing us the true depth of the relationship between Rebecca and her mother. These things don't happen by accident. If a woman has no mother she can trust, who benefits? If she has no sister she can confide in, who benefits? And I'll tell you the answer. It's simple. Men benefit. Abusers benefit. Exploiters benefit. Predators benefit. Systems built on inequality benefit because isolated women are easier to control. If a husband is abusing his wife and she has nobody to talk to, the husband benefits. If a young woman is being manipulated and has no older woman willing to tell her, honey, that isn't normal, the manipulator benefits. If a woman is assaulted and has nobody she trusts enough to tell, the rapist benefits, and the story goes on. If women never compare notes, if women never share experiences, if women never tell each other the truth about what is happening to them, who benefits? It is the people doing the harm. That's why women talking to each other matters, because the moment women compare stories, things start to unravel. The moment women compare stories, they start noticing patterns. They notice double standards. They notice gaslighting. They notice abuse. They notice exploitation. And they begin to realize that their problems are not individual problems. They are systemic problems. And systems don't like educated people. It's much easier to convince one woman she's crazy. It's much harder to convince 50 women that they are all crazy. And when I look at scripture, I can't help but notice how often women are separated from one another, how often women are portrayed as rivals, competing wives, competing mothers, competing baby makers. And maybe some of that reflects reality, but honestly, a lot of it just reads like men who don't know how to write a female character. And I think maybe it also reflects something else. I think maybe men have a vested interest in making sure women never realize how powerful they truly are together. Because women supporting women is powerful. Women teaching women, women warning women, women believing women, that is a formidable force. And maybe that's why I like Rebecca's mother's household. Maybe that's why I find Rebecca's mother's household so fascinating. For one brief moment, we get a glimpse of a woman-centered space. A daughter runs there first, not to a man, not to an authority figure, not to God, not to a patriarch, but to her mother. And I can't help wondering what might have happened if we had been given more stories like that. What might have changed if generations of women had been taught that other women were their allies instead of their competition? What might have changed if mothers and daughters had been given center stage instead of being pushed into the margins? We'll never know. But I do know who benefits when women are divided. And I know who benefits when women are united.
And so we were
return to the mother.
Back to the woman who never receives a name.
And so we return to the mother because I always like to circle back. Back to the woman who never receives a name, the woman who appears in only a handful of verses, the woman history almost forgot. And as I sit with this story, I find myself feeling robbed. Not because Rebecca's mother was unnamed. We've seen that before, and we will see it again. Not because she only appears in a few verses. Again, that's nothing new. But I feel robbed because the story could have been so much more. This could have been a story about a mother and a daughter and their bond. This could have been a story about trust, wisdom, guidance. This could have been a story about a woman preparing her daughter for one of the biggest transitions in her life. This story could have been so much more. Instead, the story sits just beyond our reach. We can see it. We can smell it. We can hear it. We can almost touch it. But we're not allowed to have it. And after spending all this time with Rebecca's mother, I think that's a loss. Not just for her, but for all of us. Because throughout this sermon, we've asked who benefits when women are divided, who benefits when women are disconnected from one another. And we found the answer. And what makes Rebecca's mother so powerful isn't what we know about her. It is what she represents. Because Rebecca's mother represents millions of women. Women whose names are forgotten. Women whose labor is expected. Women who hold families together. Women who raise children. Women who comfort. Women who sacrifice. Who teach. Who give everything they have to the people they love. And then quietly disappear into the background of someone else's story. Because that's what women have been taught to do. Put your children first. Put your husband first. Put everyone else's needs first. Shrink yourself. Sacrifice yourself. Disappear. And then somehow also be grateful for it. Whether they are married mothers or single mothers, countless women spend their lives carrying families on their backs while someone else gets remembered. Someone else gets the glory. Someone else gets the credit. And that's exactly what happens here. The mother is present at every important moment. The daughter runs to her. The gifts are given to her. The negotiations include her. The departure happens in front of her. And yet she remains unnamed. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Mothers do not have to spend their entire lives taking a back seat. Women do not have to disappear so that everyone else can be seen. Daughters can remember. Granddaughters can remember. We can tell the stories. We can say their names when history forgets them. And when history doesn't give us their names, we can at least acknowledge that they were there, that they mattered, that they shaped our lives, they shaped our families, and they shaped our future. The Bible never tells us the name of Rebecca's mother, but for a brief moment, it lets us see her. A mother, a woman running a household, a woman helping her daughter through a life-changing moment, a woman conducting business, a woman participating in negotiations without a man to be seen. And she can still empower us. And we can imagine the bond that made Rebecca run to her mother's house. And as women, we can build those same kind of bonds as mothers, as daughters, as sisters, as aunts, creating relationships that teach, protect, and empower the women who come after us, so that one day our daughters and granddaughters may rise above the bondage of patriarchy. And that's today's Auntie Sermon.
Absolutely fantastic. You are
so powerful.
Hero among women.
Aww. That's so sweet. Thank you. I have a guest in the box if he's still here. Are you guys ready to do some talking?
Thank you guys.
Oh, maybe he left. Oh, he left. Oh, he left.
He was probably scared
Thank
of
you guys. Thank you so much.
women.
Yeah, the sermon was wonderful, though. Kim, do you want to give your thoughts first? Because I don't know how long I'm going to take.
Do I want to what?
Do you want to give your thoughts on the sermon first before I go it? Because I don't know how long I'm going to take.
Well, I'm going to keep it simple. Like, I feel like, Crystal, you are just paving a way for future women and empowering them in ways that men never do and never will. I have so much to say. I just can't put it into words, but I'll end it with this. I am so proud to be your friend and to be associated with you. And
That is so
I
sweet.
strive to be more like you. Like, I really do. Like, you're something else, Miss Ma'am.
That is so sweet. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate all of you and how much you all make me a better person every day.
I agree with him, though. You
All right,
are
Robin.
my auntie,
Yep.
and you give me so much wisdom. And I'm so grateful to have you in my life because you empower me so much. But on the sermon itself, something that really stands out to me is this wasn't what you said. This is what I'm saying. But there was a missed opportunity between Rachel and Rachel's mom to have that bonding moment. We see this so much in the Bible, like how you were talking about these relationships between brothers and fathers and sons and uncles and their nephew. But we don't see that hardly. There's almost no, there's nothing like that for women in the Bible. And this was just such a missed opportunity.
No.
And yet, what do we learn about Rachel's mom? She was a businesswoman. She ran her own house. She was independent. And this just goes to show the narrative that, oh, well, women couldn't own anything back then. That's not necessarily
Right?
true. We have an instance. We have an
not
instance
true.
right here. It's not true. And it makes me,
Exactly.
I'm so glad that we have this character in the Bible, even though they intentionally, this needs to be said all the time, they intentionally don't name these
Can you find a
people.
different place to beat up instead of coming to me?
I don't think that Born Again knew she came up. But you're up here and I muted you, Born Again. Sorry, go ahead, Robin.
Yeah, but even though the authors intentionally stripped the name of Rachel's mother,
It's
because
Rebecca.
they don't want
I
to.
always mix them up too.
I'm sorry,
but,
why
but,
did I say that?
But it is Rebecca. I don't know.
Oh my
I do
God,
it
I
every
said
time
Rachel.
too. Okay, go ahead. I know,
Yeah, I'm having an
I
off day,
switch them
everybody.
up every time.
Sorry about that. Yes, I'm having an off day, everybody. Yeah, I don't want to get into my health stuff, but I am having, yes, Rebecca's mother, like I was saying earlier, the idea that women in this time period were just pretty much slaves, that's not true. We have evidence of women making executive decisions. This is a businesswoman who didn't have a man in her presence and was telling men, yeah, okay, this is how we're going to run things. These are my rates. If you don't like it, I think empowering, because we grow up hearing this idea that, oh, women, all they did all day was they stayed at home barefoot in the kitchen cooking and cleaning. No, there were plenty of women in this time period that were doing the damn thing. And I think that we need to remind ourselves that if women could do it back then, women can do it now.
Absolutely.
I so badly wish that there were more women characters that got the praises that they deserved in the Bible, and I appreciate what you do so much, Crystal, because you shine a spotlight on these people, because they're people at the end of the day. You shine a spotlight on these people that never get their opportunity to have anything spoken about them. You're probably the first person to ever talk about this. I can't think of a single instance that anybody else has. You are you're laying the foundation. You're making new things. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I appreciate so much about you. You offer fresh takes and new ideas and things that people aren't saying.
And not only that, things that inspire women to just break out from under the patriarchy. Like, one thing I loved about Rachel and her daughter is I absolutely know that Rachel, her daughter, was an example to other little girls during that time. You know she had to be. And I feel like Rachel was also an inspiration to women at that time.
I have to correct you because it's Rebecca, and that's what Robin did. Robin said Rachel, and now
Yes,
we're all
I know.
saying Rachel.
I felt bad. I started this. It's my
That's
fault.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just want to make sure everybody knows we are talking about Rebecca. So,
Yeah, my bad.
But no, I
Miss
agree. I agree. I think so for sure. And you're right, Creative Camper. Like, for instance, a lot of people just love, like, you're going to hear it. Okay, I want you to listen to where atheists, especially atheist men, are out there talking about Tamar. Okay, they're going to go, she prostituted herself. Judah slept with a prostitute. Okay, no, she didn't. She made it appear like she was a prostitute. What she did was she ensured the line of Jesus, you dumb-wits. There would be no Jesus if Tamar does not sleep with Judah. And when this man became a fearful little blathering little fucking idiot because he was scared his third son would die and he didn't trust enough in his God and what his God promised him, Tamar ensured it. She tricked him. She wasn't really trying to be a prostitute. That wasn't what she was doing. What she was doing was ensuring the covenant. She was ensuring the line when a man became a weak little idiot. But all you'll ever hear men say is, Tamar prostituted herself. Judah slept with a prostitute. No, Judah thought he slept with a prostitute. He slept with his daughter-in-law because he could not fathom that one of his sons might die again. And instead of trusting his God, which we know is like the biggest sin, right? Isn't that why Lot's wife gets turned into a pillar of salt? Because she didn't trust and she turned back and she looked back? That's what we're told, right? Lot lingers and nobody bats an eye, right? I actually should make that meme. I should make that meme.
Who wouldn't look back? You know, who wouldn't look back? And for her to be struck down because of that, I mean, it was so unnecessary. Like, it just so, and cruel.
Absolutely.
Though the person I'm going to talk about is a man, it does remind me of Uzzah, how the Ark of the Covenant is about to fall, so he jumps out to save it from falling. And what does God do? Strikes him dead right in that moment.
I
in
know,
lightning.
what the hell?
And think about it like this. If that Ark would have fallen, everybody would have got zapped. It would have been a bug zapper fish fry. It would have been, but yeah. I love
I think you're the one who said it, Robin. I can't remember if you're the one who said it, but we talked last week about the midwife and the red string, and you said, I swear, Crystal, it's like the red string had more character development than the midwife, who is an actual human, right? Like they cared more about that red string in later biblical teachings and rabbinical teachings. And the same thing happens here. The woman is standing there, she's doing everything, but all they care about is the man who disappeared.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's what
they
the whole
are giving
teachings become
details about everybody but her. Yeah, they give details about everybody but her. They paint a scene and they give information about the kind of person she is, but they do so indirectly on purpose. And it's to prevent them from having a sense of identity. Like the idea of the names, because this has happened so many times that we've observed the names not being given, because they would sometimes just make up names, but they didn't even do that, But I do want to say, going back to the to the sermon, speaking for my mother is somebody that truly inspires me. She's a very hardworking woman, and she's a woman of principle. When you have strong women, it has a rippling effect for other girls and young ladies to look up to. And I feel like
Yes.
that's a really strong message to this story that that for this time there were actual strong, independent, capable, intelligent women. And too often, especially in these toxic Christian circles, we get told that women are the inferior vessel and all this other bullshit.
I want to say something about that. Women are so capable of controlling their emotions way better than men ever could. And here's an example out of the Bible. The guy that was the bald guy and the little kids were making fun of his bald head. And, God sent down bears to kill the kids. How fragile do you have to be to, want to unalive all these kids just because they called you bald-headed? And they say women are emotional?
Exactly.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
And
either.
notice how the text specifies it was she-bears as well.
Yeah.
Why did you specify that they were female bears? What?
I didn't remember that part.
Hey, Creative Camper, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I was thinking, if I was Lot's wife, maybe I would have turned around too, because really, the guy is really not a gift. I would be like, I'm better off being a pillar of salt. I'm better off heading the other direction. Let's go back into the city and just end it all, because if this is what I'm staying with, yeah, no, thank you.
Right? Exactly. No, for real. I just don't see, first of all, I don't know, even as a Christian, I don't think I ever liked Lot, and it was probably because of the whole scene with his daughters, that I'm sure that spoiled him for me immediately, right? But, when I deconstructed and I found out that I did not realize how many Christians and Muslims find him to be like a holy, righteous prophet of God. I thought, that weasel? That's somebody you look up to? Ew. He is such a weasel from the beginning to the end. I don't find a redeeming quality in that man. What the hell?
He's absolutely horrible.
He's just, ugh.
Oh, unless we forget the concubine that got thrown out. Unless we forget about that.
Lot lingers.
I love Crystal. She's so funny.
Lot lingered, you bitches, and y'all never talk about that. Okay? Sit there, couldn't find his car keys. They had to drag him out of the house. God showed mercy on him.
It was actually your Auntie Sermon that I really thought about this, and I was like, wait a minute. Lot and his daughters, if they really thought it was the end of the world, right? Why did they stay a couple days in town before they went up into the mountains? That doesn't make any sense. If you thought that it was the end of the world, you wouldn't have stopped. You would have just kept going up in those mountains.
Y'all, all you would have saw was my ass running away from that city.
And then, of course, lest we forget the concubine that got thrown out, and then all of the men did what they did. Very disturbing.
I mean, it's just
Musa is missing Nicholas. Nicholas, Musa misses you. Do you want to come up? You can come up, Nicholas. You know you're welcome. I don't even have to tell you that. But Musa, are you sad? Do you miss Nicholas?
Hey, I just want to take a second to thank the people who are gifting coins. I appreciate you guys.
Oh, I love it when my fans miss me. It's so sweet.
I know, right? That is really sweet. I didn't know you had a fan like that. That's kind of cool.
Me neither. First the stuff with no degree, now this. Man, I'm beside myself right now.
Oh, you've been talking to No Degree, the guy with the. He just needs to change his name to No Brain at this point.
He's been very shy, and I get it. Maybe I shouldn't have, done everything publicly, but he did it publicly. He initiated, so I'll break those walls and barriers at some point, and he'll come around. It's fine. It's fine.
No, do not feel bad. These men come up here and they spread harmful ideas, and people listen to their vitriol and absorb it. Do not feel bad for what you do.
Yeah, but once he wait a minute, hold on. Robin, were you not here whenever Do you maybe Robin doesn't know?
No, I don't think Robin does know. I don't think Robin was here. Robin, were you here when we had No Degree on last week?
I am going to be clipping that. I am so sorry.
Oh no, I probably missed it.
Oh, I am going to be clipping that. I am so sorry. I'll be clipping that because it is so good. It is the best No Degree ever, 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 ever.
No
That
Degree.
guy is
Okay,
so
I'm excited.
Nick, tell them about it.
No Degree made some really weird comment to me about not denying women access to women or something like that, and then goes on to say, Nick, why are you denying me? So at first I was like, that's creepy and stalkerish, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play into this. So when he came up, I called him out on the comment and told him, if he had certain feelings for me, he should have just said so. And I started calling him Pookie whenever I see him pop up into people's lives. But the whole thing was really hysterical. I made a post about it on my page. I think it's the third post in, that what a way to bring Pride Month in is to play the wildest game of gay chicken that's ever been played in history. So I've decided that I'm just going to use Pride Month to make his life miserable because of that one small comment that he made.
Well,
I love that.
Doesn't have to,
Also, hi, Katie.
Hi, Robin. It doesn't have to stop at Pride.
True. It does not.
I mean, I'm sure his feelings will continue.
Once I'm in a committed relationship, I'm committed to it, I mean,
right, yeah.
I can do this forever.
He makes it so easy, though. Like, he is
really
so
does.
easy to tag.
He makes it way too easy. So we were having a really hard laugh.
It is kind of weird for me, and some people, they have observed this, where some of the Christians will come up and start to flirt with me, not knowing that I'm trans, and then finding out later on, and then it causes so much drama. But yeah, some of them even slide into my DMs. I would not out them because that's like pretty fucked up, but yeah, there are some interesting Christians on here.
Oh, Katie, you are a better person than I am. I would be petty about that. I mean, I would out them all over the place.
Oh, that was Robin, not me.
Oh, Robin, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would be telling I would sing it from the mountain.
I probably have some in my DMs, but I just don't really read them unless I know who you are already, and then I probably have 40 unread message request things.
Well, let's make it even weirder,
guys,
okay?
Let me do something real quick, Robin. I want to take a real quick moment to thank everybody. Last week, my top supporters were Nick, Born Again Atheist, Katie, Emmy, Reckless Religion, and Kimberly, Gay AF. Just so you guys know, your gifts are very important to me. They help make this show possible, help make it so I can do this instead of do something else. It makes it so I can write more podcast episodes, more music, and go live more often. Decon Q&A, by the way, is coming back. We are going to do that just once a month. We're going to have a special guest each month. It will, I think that, as for now anyway, I'm going to stick to women, non-binary, and people in the trans community when I do have somebody on the show because, just not liking some of the choices I made previously. So I don't want to make those choices again in the future, okay? So anyway, I'm bringing that back. But all of your gifts, all of your, tips when you go over to my link and you hit up my links and do stuff, all of that really helps it so that I can do this. If you want to support the show, check out the links in my bio. There's many ways you can do so. There are people who have helped fund my computer so I could be better over on the YouTube and get on Twitch and actually take calls from YouTube. And people have helped donate towards my daughter's books. And I just appreciate every single thing you do. And sometimes y'all just send me a little 420 fun money, and that's cool too. I really like that. But you can also just support me by sharing out the live, by tapping the screen. There are many free ways you can help me. I am always looking for people to help me mod my TikTok, my YouTube, and my Discord. If you do graphic art and you want to help me create merch, if you are a musician and you want to cover one of my songs, there's so many ways you can support me for free. So hit me up in my DMs. I really appreciate it. Happy Pride to everybody. And also, this is my birthday month. I'm having a big birthday bash on Monday, June 29th. I'll be turning 60 years old, and you better all fucking be here, and you better all come up and wish me a happy birthday. But thank you all for being here. I just appreciate it.
Hey, one thing, Miss Crystal. If you would like to add me as a mod on your TikTok, I would be honored.
Okay, awesome.
I mod for quite a few creators, and I like giving back.
Yeah, I'm up for it
Thank
too.
you. I appreciate that.
I can't guarantee
I'm
I'm
gonna drop
always here,
down-
but I know you always have people around who will, so I can mod as well, no
Hi,
problem.
Shadow.
Thank you.
I'm going to drop down, guys. It was so nice to be up here with everyone. I need to go do farm things.
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate you. Have a great day.
Love y'all.
Well, shuck my corn. You have fun now.
Shuck
you
my
hear?
corn. Bye, beautiful people.
Well, I was going to say.
Have a great day.
What I think is weirder about it is when these Christians will hit on me and I'll be like, sweetheart, first of all, you could never. But secondly, I'm in a happily committed relationship of over 9 years. I'm good. And then they're like, but you're not married. And I'm like, do you just not respect consent? And also, like, not interested. And also, what does that matter? I'm not a man's property. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's just weird. You push that boundary. I don't know. Anyway,
Pushing that boundary and also thinking.
No, I think it's also weird pushing that boundary and also thinking, and it's such an old-fashioned thought that the ultimate goal for any relationship ends in marriage. Why? What? Why does that? Why does that equal happy? It doesn't. We know it doesn't. Or there wouldn't be such a higher divorce rate. Yeah, or monogamy. Why are those the only goals or the ultimate goals, right? It's crazy.
Because only men are
I agree.
multiple wives. Women aren't allowed to have multiple wives or husbands because they're just there to breed for people at the men at the end of the day. That's why. Men think of women
marriage
as
means
property.
different things.
They don't like sharing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, all good.
I feel like I keep cutting you off.
No, I think there's a delay. We're fine.
But are you finished, though?
Yes, I am finished.
Okay. Okay, what I was gonna say is
Hey,
marriage
Isabel!
means different things to different. It means in a particular culture, you might be part of a particular religion. Even in the LGBT community, it means different things.
You got
What is
bars.
Maybe
You
it's my
got
inner
bars,
feminist, but
pumpkin.
I don't want to be a man's property.
Dang it. You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Dang it. You're breaking up. You're
Hello?
breaking up. Okay,
Welcome.
your bars went away. Try again. Right now.
One check. Can you hear me now?
Mm,
Yes.
not
Kind
really.
of.
It's breaking up
spotty.
again. It's like that was my impression. Did I do good, you guys? I think I did that.
You did very well. I
That
hate
was
this
very good.
because TikTok only ever does it to her when she's got something important to say. It's like, knock it off, TikTok.
I know.
We permit women to speak here. Let her speak. Like, Rick.
Come back, come back.
Baby, come back. You can blame it on me.
Okay, Robin, how you doing? You got bars again? It sucks. God dang it. You guys, everybody gift Robin so we can buy her own internet thing. Like, I don't know, like if you, what would you have to own to have
my
the
Wi-Fi.
best internet?
The Holy Ghost is fucking up my Wi-Fi.
Ugh.
Well, he's
Hi.
a misogynist, that's why. That's why he's doing it.
If it was the OG Holy Ghost, we wouldn't be having an issue right now. But
Okay, I'm gonna try and talk fast.
Nope, that's true. She would
Okay.
never allow this.
I'm going to try and talk fast. So I was going to say marriage means different things to different people, especially depending on what culture you're brought up in, and also whatever religion you are. But anyway, even within the LGBT community, marriage means different things to different people, and a lot of gay and trans people fought hard to get the right to marry, so I understand the value of it. And especially for older folks, marriage is a more traditional thing anyways. But for me, perhaps because of my Christian trauma, I don't want to be a man's property. That doesn't sound appealing to me. And I do realize I could have like a courthouse wedding or something like that. That also doesn't appeal to me. I don't like the government being involved in my relationship. Like if I was going to do a marriage, it would probably be like a Buddhist ceremony. But guess what? Fun fact, Buddhists don't get married like that.
Amy says, agreed, but I have no problem.
You may or may not know this, but monks and nuns in Buddhism don't officiate marriages.
Emmy said agreed, but I have no problem being another woman's property. Oh.
There was a time I considered, like, how cool it would be to have.
There was a time I considered, like, how cool it would be to have, for if Doug had multiple wives. Because if I didn't feel like cooking and shit one night, it would be like, hey, wife number 7, you want to go?
It takes a village, right? Like,
Right. It was like, I would just be like, oh, okay, cool. And then,
This is some
there'd be
Solomon
those
shit.
times where,
so do I. I have another.
I'm just saying, when I was a young mom, it just made sense. It was like, that actually could benefit me.
Right? Be like, ooh, I'm tired. I could take a nap, and one of the other wives could do household chores, and then.
Look, it's all fun and games until all 7 of you sync up at the same time.
I don't know. I don't care about that either. That's fine too. I don't care.
I feel like it would be really supportive. Like, they'd be like, what do you need? I'll help you.
Man,
That's the man's perspective.
Because when me and my sister and my mother...
Listen to
Sorry, Crystal, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. We're listening to it, man. We're just saying. You're telling it from a man's perspective, sir.
When myself, me, or my mom and my sister would sync up, it was like World War 12. Like, it was so bad. And I could not imagine a house of 7 women doing that. It was just, yeah, I'm just remembering old war wounds.
Oh, I don't know. We were different in our house. Not the house I grew up in, but the house that I raised. Okay, because when we all synced up, then I guess I taught them, like, how you all help each other, right? So, like, if I was getting up to go get something, I'd be like, look, I'm getting up right now, okay? And I'm getting a little chocolate. You want a little chocolate, dude? You want some chocolate? You know, or if one of us hadn't quite started yet, we'd have them run in and get the pads and the ice cream. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, you know what? You haven't started yet. You run in for us, okay? And we'll run in for you next time. So...
Crystal, you are going to love The Red Tent. The book, you're really going to like it.
I'm listening to it now. I am listening to it right now. I am enjoying it.
Oh, I was sure. When you were talking about it, I was like, yep. Fits. Very much fits.
Okay, so I live...
Yeah, absolutely. I was really excited because, okay, so I live in a county. I live in a little outskirts place, and I, have a little tiny local library card. And I knew it was a part of a larger system, but I've looked for, really good books before, and they never have them for audio or Kindle. I'd have to go check it out, and I'm like, not going to do it. I'm just going to tell you, don't go to the library very often. There's too much to listen to or read, right, on the audio or Kindle. And so when you told me about it, I thought they'll probably won't have this. And I guess I must have put a reminder if it becomes available or something. And I opened the app the other day and it was like, oh, this is available in audio. And I'm like, in audio? That's so awesome. So I'm listening to it. I love it.
That's perfect.
Audiobooks are the new 3D. Like when you'd be excited to go see a 3D movie, that's what audiobooks are. There's so many audiobooks.
They are. They are. And the thing is that I just am not good at reading anymore. I didn't know, obviously there's reasons I'm not good at it. I have OCD, and one of the things is my thoughts will come in when I'm doing something else and just completely distract me. And I can't stop because I'm ruminating, because that's what I do, And so while I'm reading something, I'll start ruminating about something else, and I'll realize I have freaking read this page 47 times and I still don't know what it says. But with audiobooks, I can put those on. It distracts my brain from being able to ruminate and allows me to multitask a little, like I can clean or something while I'm listening.
I'm the exact same way. And I used to be able to read. I read so much, and I felt there was a part of almost being ashamed of not being able to read. I could not for the life of me understand. And then I got my autism and ADHD diagnosis and started making sense. And I've gotten back into audiobooks, and it's wonderful. It's just wonderful.
Isn't that funny how we felt shame about that? Because I felt shame too. I felt illiterate. I felt like it didn't count if I wasn't reading the words on the page. And then I was convinced that, I just don't read enough. But then I also realized, what am I talking about? I read every day. Every single day I read to research sermons. I read studies. I just can't read a book right now. My brain does not allow me to, but I can listen to a book. Why do I shame myself over that? It's ableism is what it is.
It is.
I actually have
There's
the
certain
book.
benefits to. Oh, sorry.
It's okay, Rob.
You go, Katie.
I was just going to say, I usually have the book and the audio. So I'm seeing the words and hearing them at the same time, because I also like to make notes in my books. So.
I do still
So
have
I,
books. I can't stop. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robin.
I was going to say sometimes a benefit to listening to an audiobook is so I read a lot of Buddhist books, and a lot of it will have Sanskrit or Pali jargon in it, and certain words I won't be able to read and pronounce. But the author, whoever's reading the book, the person, if he says it or she says it, then I'll be like, oh, I now know how to pronounce this very long Sanskrit word that I would never know.
Yeah. I know that when I am saying the names from Genesis, that I'm butchering them, okay? And I want you to know, though, that when I go to record the actual podcast, I try to have it spelled out phonetically for me so that I can pronounce it better. But I have also learned that when you go online to have it phonetically spelled out, they sometimes do it in like how Americans would say these words and not how the ancient Hebrew would actually. Like, for instance, if I ask it to phonetically spell out Dinah, it spells it out like Dinah. But Hebrews pronounced it Dina. And so I'm still gonna and so I apologize ahead of time that I screw up names throughout the whole series. I'm doing my best, y'all. There's a lot of names, and they're very long and weird.
It makes life a whole hell of a lot more difficult when you start trying to pronounce old Babylonian names and stuff. It's like, oh my God. No, stop.
And that's the other thing. They're not all just ancient Hebrew names, because sometimes the Hebrew did not give them a name. So I find the name from like Greek or Ethiopian or whatever. And then it's like, okay, now it's a totally, if you speak other languages, you understand how, vowel sounds can be very different from one language to another or whatever. So I speak English and Spanish, and when I try to do Hebrew, and I'm learning Hebrew, okay, sometimes my Spanish or my English really cuts in, and it's not good. It butchers the word of the name.
I've started
Bye, Katie.
Arabic.
Have a great day. Love you,
Bye,
sis.
Katie. I've started Arabic. And I'm like, how in the world am I ever going to be able to pronounce, like, how do I make this sound? Because what I'm doing and what I'm hearing is not the same thing at all.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, like, in Hebrew, it's not just a joke. There are times where you have to do the sound, and you have to do it, like, I can't explain, like, right and smooth into the next vowel or consonant or whatever, and it's very difficult when you don't use those guttural throat tones, in either language that you already know, So it's difficult. And I do my best, and I butcher them, and if you want to tell me all about it, do so. But also, I would love it if, I know there's only 11 of you in here right now. 11 of you. Go listen to just one episode this week on Spotify or Apple if you can, and leave me a comment and leave me a 5-star review, because I love the comments, and the reviews help push it out to more people. But I took a little time off from mental health. Had a really bad stint of bad mental health, and that just tanked my numbers, darn it. So I could use some help. If you can, just go listen to one episode of Auntie Sermons, and if you can do it from Spotify or Apple and leave a comment and a review, I'd appreciate it. It means so much. You can speed that shit up. That's okay. I speed up everything. If I could, I'd speed myself up right now. I talk too damn slow.
You know, you were saying something earlier, Crystal, about you were like, donate to Robin, she's going through a hard time, the Holy Ghost. Well, I, for whatever reason, I have issues with my card working with TikTok. That'll get resolved eventually, but it's kind of opened my eyes to, like, not everybody has the resources or something's wrong with TikTok. So I've actually come up with a thing where if people want to show me love in the chat, they can tag me and put some lotus emojis in the chat. That's usually what I start to tell people now. Like,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah,
I
you
like
could do that too. That's an idea I'm floating around. Like, if you don't have any money, if you want to show Crystal some love, you could tag her or put some crystal balls in the chat, because that's what Crystal does for her thing. So yeah, I just decided to adopt the lotus
Absolutely.
as my little symbol.
I love that. I like that a lot. That's really cool. Absolutely. And if you, do your little heart me and stuff, then you're able to usually do my stickers. And dropping my stickers in chat is always cool too. I need to upload new stickers there too. I do have new ones that Meeks made me. I think I put them on some of my Discord or something, but I haven't put them here yet, I noticed. So I will get those for you. They are nibblings. It's my little nibbling character that Meeks helped me create, and he made all my stickers. So I love them.
Also, I want to gas you up on your eyeshadow today. I don't know what kind of eyeshadow this is, but it's gorgeous. It's super sparkly. It's just in time for Pride.
Okay, well, here's what I did, okay? One time, somebody had told me about Notoriously Morbid. It's an indie brand makeup, and I really liked it, but I was really broke. So I went online to like Poshmark or something, and somebody had a whole box of it that, like she was de-stashing her makeup or something. And it's loose powder makeup mostly. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy her whole box so I could try all of them. And it was only like $20 for her whole box. The other day, I was cleaning out all my cabinets, and I was like, I don't want 400 little things of eyeshadow. So I took like all the browns and I put them together in one container and mixed them together, and I put like all the blues. And then this is my blues, but I mixed it with this little creamy white chrome. And that's what I have on my eyes today, is Notoriously Morbid Blue collection that I poured all into a jar. And then this, I don't know what it is. It's Wet and Wild. Little Wet and Wild. I mix this with stuff all the time because it's very chromy. And it's creamy, so it's easy to put on. And then if I mix it with the eyeshadow color I like.
You have so many of them mixed together, too. It makes it super dimensional. My eyes are immediately gravitated to yours.
I really
that's
like
really creative.
it.
I used to make my own lipsticks, but you gotta buy like beeswax and oil and pigment. Making your own lipsticks is a lot of work.
Making anything is a lot of work. You guys who are, and that's another thing, don't forget, you guys, if you're an artist or crafty or whatever, I want to do, in July, a craft show art fair in my Discord, and I'd love for you guys to join me and be able to show your stuff and sell stuff, hopefully. Maybe people will buy some of your art and your crafts, and so hit me up if you want to be a part of that. Or join my Discord, and once I get that started in there, you can be a part of that.
Has old, bold, and brash been your wall for long? Consider checking art show. Bold and brash is the SpongeBob reference. You probably didn't know.
No, I did not know that one.
Canadian Postal Service really unalived. being able to ship anywhere for us Canadians. They charge an arm and a leg. It actually costs me more to send a package to the east side of Canada than it does to the States. And that's sad.
There will be a place in the art show for those who do digital, like downloadable stuff too. So if that's something you do, you could still be a part of it, and then you wouldn't have to ship. You just have to be able to provide something that they could download, like maybe specific sticker graphics or things like that.
I mostly,
yes, we were talking about Lot and his wife, Amy. I'm sorry, Nick. Sorry.
All good. I do a mixture of painting and then sculpture, like later cases and keychains.
That's cool. Well, join it anyway. You never know. Sometimes people are willing to pay the shipping.
You never know.
I've sold many things to Canada, the UK, Australia. I used to ship all over the world.
My favorite art form to practice is actually calligraphy. It's very relaxing, but the thing about calligraphy is it's very much a perfectionist kind of art. Because I will use ink and a brush, and I usually will do either Chinese or Japanese characters. But I really like calligraphy. But it is a perfectionist art. It's not for everybody. You have to actually memorize the strokes and. Yeah, but you know what? Funnily enough, I think we all have a famous relative, or at least at some point in our family history, we have to be related to somebody famous. I'm related to Edgar Allan Poe, and so I feel like if I was going to try and sell my art, I would intentionally market myself that way.
Oh, that's really cool. They've gone pretty far back in my family's history, and I'm just related to idiots. That's basically who I'm related to. Bunch of fucking colonizing idiots. Sorry, my bloodline sucks. So yeah, bunch of farmers.
Yeah, a bunch of farmers on my end too. I don't think anyone in either side of my family is notorious for much.
If you guys knew my legal last name, you would know what my ancestors did, and that's not a bad thing. But I have a stereotypical. I'll just give you an example. If my last name was Smith, that might give you an idea of what might a blacksmith kind of thing. Yeah, if you knew my legal last name, you'd be able to be like, oh, I know what your ancestors did.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Annika is distantly related to Laura Ingalls Wilder. Okay, here's my claim to fame, you guys. You know the song Afternoon Delight?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard it though.
Okay, and Country Road. You know that song?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that song too.
Take me home. My uncle, he's related to me. The dude who wrote those two songs is kind of, sort of related to me through Marriage Once Removed or some shit like that. Anyway, so, yeah. And I actually sang those songs with him on a porch when I was about 16 years old in Fairfax, Virginia. We were sitting on a porch during the summer, and he was strumming the guitar, and we were singing his songs.
Crystal, I got a drop, but I hope it picks up for you in a bit here.
Thank you. And thank you for being here, Nick, and I'll see you later. I will be back on Wednesday. On Wednesday.
I don't know why it's so slow today. I already restarted.
I don't know why it's so slow today. I already restarted.
Yeah, that sucks. Too bad. I wanted some ops. I was gonna say, I'm sure you've all heard the conspiracy theory, or it may not actually be a conspiracy theory about how presidents are actually related to each other. Like, for example, George W. Bush and Barack Obama are surprisingly related to each other. Well,
Oh, wow.
I'm actually related to Ulysses S. Grant. So I guess
Oh,
if I ever
wow.
ran
That's
for
really cool.
office,
That's cool.
he wasn't a very good president, so it's not a big flex, but I'm like, I guess I am
think that there have been
do it for.
good presidents. So there you go. There's that.
I don't think that there have been any good presidents, so there you go. There's that. I mean, besides Barack Obama. Barack Obama, probably, yes. But to be honest with you, I'm an independent. I literally am an independent. I'm registered as independent. I don't side with either party because the Democrats have just been awful too.
I mean, I think Mr. Clinton was okay, but I don't know. Most of the
When he was
presidents that
governor
we've
of
had have been war
Arkansas,
criminals.
I think he did some. I think that Bill Clinton did evil shit when he was governor of Arkansas. There is a horrific story about some boys on a track. I can't remember the whole story right now, but if you look that up and you realize the lengths that people went to with this situation, it had to go all the way up to him. It had to. And I think he covered up some shit when he was governor of Arkansas.
I think
I got some stuff to look into.
To be able to get to that level of power, because that's what we're talking about at the end of the day, you have to be somebody who's willing to step onto other people to do things that go against your values or beliefs, and to like kind of switch what you need to switch to make it fit. No matter how good you turn out to be as like a leader of the country, the way our system is built, and this is in every country, no matter, even Switzerland, with the way our system is put. I mean, power, the way it's put together, you have to. There is no other option if you want to get to that level of, being a power player. And that's just what it is and what the system is.
It's absolutely true.
I agree. Which is part of the reason why I could have said Ulysses S. Grant earlier, but I didn't.
Well, you guys, I'm only live for another half hour, so hang out with me for another half hour. I like to stay live my full 3 hours for Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I want to thank you guys for being with me today. I really appreciate it. Oop! Pulling on my cord accidentally. I have to have my phone plugged in right now. Thank you. Thank you so much, Devil's Public Defender. I said it right. I said it right this time. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys. Thank you for all the likes, all the shares, all the support you guys give me. I really, really appreciate it. I will be back Wednesday. I will not have necessarily a new sermon for you because we've just finished Genesis, and what I want to do now is get more of the Genesis episodes up on the podcast. I am finishing the workbook, and I am turning these into paperback books so that people can read them when they want, write in their books, do whatever they want. And so each book of the Bible will be its own volume of sermons. So we're starting with Genesis, and I'm going to do that. So I'll be working on that. But because of that, I'm going to be doing some extended editions of some of the earlier sermons because they were short, much shorter than they are now. And the thing is that I didn't really have a system for the way I did it back then. I was kind of winging it. I didn't even know what I wanted to do with this project when I first started doing it. I was just like, I just think that we need sermons for every woman because we have it for like every man. So I just started doing it, not knowing how crazy that was, that I thought I could do this. It's much harder than I realized. Sometimes you are given so little about the woman, and it also feels like it's the same story as the last woman that you were talking about. And it becomes like, how do I make these people individual when I'm not given anything to make them individual, when they were purposely trying not to give us identity? You know what I mean? So, so it was a big endeavor. And so I'm going to rewrite some of those earlier ones and give you some encore performances with the extended versions while I put together the book and the workbook.
Ooh. Of that, I'm excited to read on paper these sermons too. Because, people may not want to like verbatim copy your exact sermon and personalize it to them and talk about the same subject too. So I could even see myself doing that. So thank you so much for all you do, Crystal. You are helping us out.
Yeah, you do a really, really good job. I love your sermons, and it's just the idea of the idea you came up with is just genius. It really is. Yeah. I think one way
So much.
that these women could also gain a certain dimension is also when we talk about what we know of women of that time from like finds or like cultures, and also because the way the Bible is put together, it's very much this attempt to kind of keep this little group of people together and give themselves like this story and unite them. And so it leaves out so much of what was actually going on and how diverse belief and culture and people were, and that roles were not just this kind of set thing, and also that things were, we weren't looking with the same eyes that we were today. So like bringing in what we know was actual, like as much as we know fact, into these stories. And I think that also gives it so much like life, and it gives these women dimension that they lack because it was just kind of pushed to the side and not made important within these texts. But these women had that. They had to. And even if this is just stories, there must have been people who at the base of this inspired in some way or another what came out of it. And there were women in that story. Wonderful, strong, independent, important women. There were people who made it possible for this community to like continue and become what it became, even though now it's what it is. It's still a story of people finding their own and fighting to be here and to exist. And I think that side of it to me is what has great beauty still in the Bible. It's not so much like the religion, but the story behind it and what these just humans are trying to do and accomplish for themselves and for others. And it's just very interesting. Like any other religion or way of explaining where you come from and give your life that dimension.
Yeah, I mean, we are studying a tribe that has affected all of us. This tribe of people, it's important that we understand them because it has affected all of us. To this day, they literally just went and redid the list of how many religions are like, I don't even know, I guess, that they recognize or some shit, right?
Yeah, it's like a list of what religions they consider formal or acceptable or, yeah.
Right, so something like that. And it was like so much larger before, and now it's down to 31. And 21 of the 31 are Christian denominations. And the Mormons used to be listed as Christian, and now they're not. So now Mormons are mad. So everybody's mad. These things affect us. What the military considers a religion. What the military considers a religion. And people say, why are you talking about this? What do you mean? How can I not be talking about this? You know? Could you imagine being an undercover Christian? To what end would it be that I am up here every day talking about how horrible it is? How would that help them
You'd be
in
the most
the long
committed one
run?
ever. That would be crazy. If I found out that you were a Christian this whole time, I'd be like, wow, you are
Wouldn't that
a
be
skilled
weird?
actress. I don't even know what to think. That'd be crazy.
I mean,
But you
there
know
are people
what?
who don't even believe that I used to be a Christian.
Oh, I run into those people too. Ugh. Or they'll say, you're never a real Christian, invoking the no true spousman fallacy. You already know.
Yeah.
But we talked about this off of here, but I don't mind saying it on here. I'm actually kind of glad that the Mormons got left out, and I will tell you why. Because now you have to fight for tolerance. Y'all were super intolerant of the LGBT people, and historically, you were very intolerant. I'm talking about the Mormons. You guys were very intolerant of people of color too, and guess what? Now you're going to have to fight for other people's right to believe what they want to believe instead of pushing your own agenda. How does it feel?
Yeah, but they won't, and that's the thing. It's just so fucking stupid. We keep telling them, if you keep letting them take away our rights, they will take away yours. There's been poetry written about it. If we don't stand up for each other, who will stand up for me in the end, right? Like we've written literature, we've written, poetry, and they don't get it. They are so okay with taking away everybody's rights. And then they still act shocked. The Mormon Church is shocked that they would not consider them Christian. And it's crazy to me. How are you shocked? We're telling you they're going to do this, and you keep acting shocked. Also, Mormons don't like to be called Mormons anymore, and that's a whole different thing. Have you heard about that? And with that Mormon podcast, the lawsuit that the LDS has against this podcast.
Oh, no, I've talked to quite a few Mormons on here, and they don't like to be called Mormon. And I tell them all this same thing, and usually they somewhat agree with me. Listen, that's how people know you. People aren't calling you Mormon like it's a slur. That's how they know you. So stick to what... It's bad marketing. The Jesus Christ
That's
Church...
what your founder called you. The founder called you Mormons.
Wait,
yes.
What are we supposed
What's your
to
holy
call
book
them
called?
now?
The Book of Mormon.
You're supposed to call them the Church of Jesus Christ for Latter-day Saints.
Okay, but what,
That's
sure,
too much.
that's their church, but what am I supposed to call them? You practice
You
the
can
church
call
of...
them LDS. You may call them LDS. They are Latter-day Saints. But do not call them Mormon. But don't
LDS
call
sounds
them
like a
Mormon.
medical condition.
Don't call them Mormon. But if you call your podcast Mormon, then the Church of Jesus Christ for Latter-day Saints will sue you because they will say that people are confused and think that you are officially coming from the Church of Jesus Christ for Latter-day Saints.
I think I don't think they've changed that when French speaking places, because I don't see that picking up. I don't know. I heard about...
It's not picking up here either.
Yeah, no.
It's not picking up here either.
I can't
That name
see
is way
French
too
people
fucking
going
long.
around saying Latter-day Saints. No. I think Mormon, they're stuck with that.
Yeah, I do too. And they literally tried to tell you that it's a slur, and I don't understand. Sir, your founder, Joseph Smith, called you Mormons. You are named after the book of Mormon.
Of Mormon.
Mormon is a prophet. He's supposed to be holy and righteous. Why are you offended, sir? Why?
You don't hear the
that's
Baptists
crazy.
doing that. Oh, you've offended our John the Baptist. The word Christian at one point was a slur. Oh, guess what? people are proud to call themselves Christian today. They'll shove it in your face like it's a badge of honor. What a fucking twist that your cult leader came up with the name Mormon and you don't like it.
Stella Nova says that they had a song called "I'm a Mormon." How can you be offended?
I will say the Muslims, at least, they're like they're like, we practice Islam, we're Muslims, and that's from the very beginning. They're like, this is what we do. They're not switching around now and saying no, telling us we're Islam, like Muslim is not right. We're changing it around. No one's doing that. They're like, no, we're just this is what it is. This is how it works.
Yeah.
I want to give Dr. flowers for his wordplay. Undercover Christian intervention. That does sound like a hilarious good show. I'm not gonna lie.
Right? That's so good. Hey, you know what? I don't think that I said hi to YouTubers today. I don't know if I have anybody over there because I didn't look. Because I'm so used to being broken. If you're over on YouTube, I want you to know I love you and I appreciate you. And I'm going to go look right now. And I'm sorry I didn't say hi earlier because I forget that it was working today. By the way, it's 2 years that I have been on YouTube. I didn't know I would make it 2 years and still have people who care.
Congratulations.
But the channel's still growing. Still growing right now. I, for some reason, cannot get to my live to say hello. So, I'm sorry, I cannot. No, I don't have a country accent that I hide on purpose. I do sometimes talk with a country accent because I lived in Kansas for 15 years and my best friend was an Okie from Muskogee. No, she was an Okie and I talk like her sometimes because I mock her. I hear her in my head and then I just talk like her.
Well, I mean, I've lived in Missouri most of my life, and I've lived in the country, city, and suburbs here. For Midwesterners, I don't have an accent, but when I start talking, I do have an accent. You could pick up on it with specific words that I use.
When I lived
as
in
Midwesterners,
Kansas,
we don't hear it.
Right. When I lived in Kansas, I talked like this, but unless I was around my best friend. And then I always pick up her accent. And people said I sound like a valley girl. And I thought, y'all don't know what a valley girl sounds like because I don't sound anything like a valley girl. But, yeah, my kids will even joke if I'm on the phone with my best friend, they know because my accent starts changing and I start talking like her. I'm a weirdo. What can I say?
I love that. Man,
I know, but I'm from California. That's why Kansas people said I sound like a valley girl because they knew I was from California. And so they said, you sound like a valley girl. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not from the valley. And second of all, no, this is not how valley girls talk. I'm sorry. I can talk like a valley girl. I mean, like, gag me with a spoon. Okay, like, are you kidding me? Like, I could totally talk like a valley girl if I wanted to, okay?
Totally.
Oh my God. Don't even fucking start me, okay? No. Ew. Okay, go ahead, Robin.
That made me want to commit violence against you. Sorry, I needed to express that. I would never, so but I did need to express it. Obviously, yeah.
I can understand why. That's why it would bother me when they said I talked like that. I'm like, no, I don't.
But like, I really do have a Missouri accent, and I can even tell where people are from in this state by their accents. For example,
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, I can tell if somebody's from southern Missouri because they won't say Missouri, they'll say Missouri. I can tell if somebody's from western Missouri if they say warsh or if they say trash. You know, like, I can pick up on how people talk and tell where they're from within my own state.
That's cool. Hey, Beaver, welcome to the show. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm 19.
Okay, and are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
Yeah.
All right. And what pronouns would you like me to use for you? She, her, he, him, or they, them?
He, him.
Alrighty. Well, today we are talking about how Lot lingered in the story about Lot and his wife having to leave Sodom and Gomorrah, and how God had mercy on Lot, but not his wife. Why?
Okay. Wait, so you're asking me why God did something, or why something
Yeah,
happened?
I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that. I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts on it. Sometimes people like to talk about these stories and they have personal thoughts about why something happened or why it didn't happen, and we're just asking people what their thoughts are on it.
Okay, so you're saying in the Lot story, with Sodom and Gomorrah, you're saying that God had mercy on Lot, but didn't have mercy on his wife. Like, what does that mean to have mercy on?
Well, I don't know. God said it. You want me to read it to you?
Well, you remember her being turned into salt, right?
How do you know that has anything to do with mercy?
He says it. Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Says, then the man said to Lot, have you anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone you have in the city? Bring them out of the place. For we are about to destroy this place because the outcry against its people has become great before the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and said to his sons-in-law, who were to marry his daughters, up, get out of this place, for the Lord is about to destroy the city. But he seemed to his sons-in-law to be jesting. When morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, saying, get up, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or else you will be consumed in the punishment of the city. But he lingered. So the men seized him and his wife and his 2 daughters by the hand, the Lord being merciful to him. And they brought him out and left him outside the city.
Okay, what does that have to do with Lot's wife?
Well, first of all, they did the same thing. They both lingered. And
Okay.
she gets cursed and killed immediately. But he has mercy. And you said, what is mercy? And I said, I don't know. We'd have to ask your God,
Okay,
because
so-
he's the one who says it. And you said, what does this have to do with mercy? And again, I'm telling you, it has to do with mercy because your book says that it was because of mercy.
Yeah, sure. So what it sounds like is that Lot was hanging around the sons-in-laws and their wives, and the wife.
No.
Where
He
is the
already
wife?
left the sons-in-laws. He's at the house now.
Which house?
He's back at his house, at Lot's house. He's at his house. They're telling him to leave to get his wife and his
Okay,
kids to get the fuck out of the city.
Okay.
And Lot is lingering there. He doesn't leave.
Yeah. And then they because he chose to linger, they come and get him, right? But they don't get his like wife and stuff.
No, they get everybody and they take him out of the city.
Wait, they took everyone and they took him out of the city.
Yeah, and it says because God was merciful to him.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense because Lot was a pretty important prophet. So I'd say
And I don't know why, because he's really a dick. Like, he is the worst human being ever. Why anybody would consider him important or a prophet, I don't get it. He's so weak. He's such a weak
I agree
little
that he's
man.
sinful and that he's imperfect.
Oh, it's not just sinful and imperfect. He's just a dick.
Yeah, whenever he threw out the concubine, that was not cool. I really don't
Sure,
like him for that.
but
Well, that's
because
that's the Levite. I don't know that it says that it's Lot in that story. It says Levite. Does it say Lot?
No, I don't think so. But
Am I mis-
I mean, between the fact that he was ready to throw out his own daughters into the streets, and
Yeah,
then
Lot? Yeah, I know.
then the fact that he ends up having children with those same daughters, yeah, problematic, very problematic.
yeah. Okay, so I would say that that like no one is disagreeing that he was sinful, but I mean because we're not omnipresent and all knowledgeable, we can't actually make a better we don't know all of the circumstances and all of the
Don't you think that what you're doing is
potential actions.
just stopping yourself from having any critical thinking skills when you do that? When you go, well, I could never
It's not
be
possible to critically
God,
think.
so I couldn't possibly know what God would
It's not
do in a
possible to
moment like
critically
this.
think?
Also, I find it
It's
really
not. It's not
astonishing.
possible
critically
to.
think.
It's not possible to. That's not what I said.
Flipping that.
I said in this situation.
Yeah, it is what you said. I'm
How
flipping
how are we supposed to be critical of God? Like, how on earth does that work?
Well, because first of all, we know what justice is, right? We understand
No, we
what
don't.
justice and mercy are.
No,
we don't. I do. I'm sorry. Do you not know what justice
Hey, well,
is?
then you're wrong.
Would you like
I
me to
know.
define
I know
it
that
for you?
mercy and justice are materially identical to God's essence. That's what God is.
No,
so
they're not.
It's not
No,
something
they're
that I
not.
can know. It's something
No,
that
they're
God
not.
reveals to me.
God is not
Are
an
you God?
attribute, okay? No, I am
God
a
is an
person who
essence. Yes, it
understands
is.
Words, Beaver. No.
No, God is an
It's
essence.
not an attribute. God
Yes, it is.
good. If it's good, then God. I'll say so. God is the good taste of Dr. Pepper, man.
Do you have an actual argument?
No.
No, you don't have an actual argument because
No.
that was a really weak. Like you're just trying to imitate me
Beaver.
there. Like that wasn't a response.
Yeah. Yeah. Beaver, you haven't shut up, so it's really hard to respond to you because you talk over me constantly.
You were
Okay.
just mocking me. That wasn't a response.
But I had been responding prior to that, and you hadn't shut up the whole time, just so you know. Okay? I'm sorry, but we do know when something is equal. We do know. If you don't, then that's a problem that you have. But I and Robin and Creative Camper and my audience, we know when things are equal. We know what
How
justice
do you know
is,
evil
and we know what
exists?
mercy is.
How do you know that exists?
Equal.
Equal?
The two things equal. Yes. And I know.
How do you know they
that
exist?
God showed mercy on him, but he didn't show mercy on her because I can read and I have reading comprehension skills.
How do you know mercy
and
exists?
That's what the story says.
How do you know evil exists? You
I
still
don't
haven't
think
answered.
your God does have mercy.
How do you know mercy and evil
I
exist?
don't think evil is real.
Then
think
how
that
would you
there
know
are
what's
good and
good if
bad
you don't know what's
things.
evil? You just said
Do
you know what
an
is evil.
internal critique is, Pumpkin?
You weren't internally
I said
critiquing.
equal,
You declared
but
you
you're
and your
not
audience know
listening.
what good
You're
is.
not listening.
You declared you and your audience knew what evil was.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You keep doing this.
Are you and your
ask
audience
questions
Christian?
And you talk over me the entire time.
You
It's just
declared you and
crazy
your
to
audience
me
are evil.
that you think that somehow we can have this conversation when you won't shut up.
You just lied about you internally
Crazy
critiquing.
to me.
How do you internally critique by declaring you and your audience know what evil is?
I said equal for the 4 millionth time, Pumpkin. For the 4 millionth time.
We're
I've said
equal?
That question about the whole.
Okay,
what
how do you know we're
I
equal
mean,
then?
Not according to the story.
We're not. We're not equal.
Do you not understand?
Not
Then
according
what's your
to the
argument?
Story. Are you okay? Do you not
I can
understand
grant that.
what's going on here? I don't think you can hold it. Just so you guys know, we do have a couple of drop gifts. Creative, you have a drop gift, but we also have a drop gift in the bank. So if anybody wants us to use that, just let me know in the chat. We can use a drop gift.
How do you know
But
we're
you've
equal?
got to be kidding me. How do we have this? What are you fucking talking about? Do you
Because you can't
understand
justify
what I'm...
anything you're saying. You can't justify it.
I haven't even been able to answer a question. Every time you ask a question, you talk over me while I'm responding. Are you broken?
Weren't responding.
I've tried so many times, Beaver. It's ridiculous. Creative, what did you want to say?
First of all, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that to this day, he's still getting defended and she's the one who gets put down continuously. Also, the whole issue is Lot lingered, and now you're asking about evil and whatever else. This whole wanting to turn into this philosophy stuff, that's not what we're talking. We're talking about Lot lingered and something that said point blank that he was granted mercy, and she obviously was not when she just turned around. And then you went into why didn't we know it's mercy? I mean, loads of people aren't Christian, know how to show mercy to others, know what it is. It's kind of something you teach your children no matter what faith or whatever you are. You do not need God specifically in your life to know good from bad and evil.
Yeah, so that was like 5 different points. Which one am I responding to?
You're not responding to any. I used the drop gift from Ace. I used it. It's done. I'm sorry. It's true, Jesse. That he could not track the conversation, and oh my god! And then to say that you're gish galloping when that's all he did. I would try to answer a question and he'd go to something else while I was still answering the last thing he asked. Ridiculous, dude. For the 4 millionth time, I said I know when something is equal. And what I mean by that is that Lot was shown mercy when he lingered, but his wife was not. That is not equal mercy. That is not being just.
And it's every time we get to that hard fact, it's like this card of, oh, but we can't know because God, for crying out loud, if you can know this is bad, then God should know that and more. Because you can't technically know something that your God does not. So how does that, I'm sorry, but no. And then I think this whole thing of every time people come up, it's like this debate mode and these wanting to talk about words. And I'm like, we're literally not having a conversation. This is not talking and exchanging and talking. This is not normal to go into every single space and do this. It is not normal.
And he gets so mad and he starts talking over me so quickly and so fast and saying things like, you lied about this or whatever, just so that he doesn't have to actually hear the point, because he knows that what he's saying is all lies. Okay. He knows that the fact that I'm pointing out that Lot lingered, it is pointing out a problem in the text. There is a problem there. And he thought that I had decided that God showed him mercy. He was like, well, what is your definition of mercy? Where do you get that it's merciful? The text said it was. Now you're going to need to ask yourself, what do you mean by mercy, sir? And to tell me I'm not doing an internal critique, dude, this is the epitome of an internal critique. I'm taking the very text in the same exact story and telling you that it doesn't work. That it is not equal. But you just were so angry that you weren't slowing down enough to even hear what my argument was. It's ridiculous. But I am clipping it where you said that we can't critically think. Because that is the best clip ever.
I'm so glad I called that out. I was going to say, there were so many times I wanted to pounce on him, but I did not have the opportunity to because the Holy Ghost, you guys, it's holding me back. Those 3 red bars were keeping me from tearing him. Oh my gosh. Are you guys aware of something called an appeal to definition fallacy or an appeal to dictionary fallacy, where you start intentionally arguing over the subjectiveness of words because you don't have a point? That is about 60% of what he was doing. He had no point, and he realized that, so instead he wanted to argue over semantic bullshit.
Right.
I'm so tired of it, and then often it gets turned to, oh, you're stupid because you don't understand. I'm like, why would I want to understand this way of thinking? I mean, it's talking about just words. It's not actually doing the talking. What are we doing? And if you look at the text, it is right there. What are you going to do with that?
Right? It's right there.
What are they going to do? Imagine if they get, like, in a situation like they have to go in front of a judge someday, or like, or they have to get work and they start talking at someone like this. Where in the, how does that, have a normal conversation, for crying out. Do you not know how to do that anymore?
I guess they don't. Like, it's just crazy to me. I don't know. And I think we start off and I think, oh, maybe we're actually going to have a conversation. And then right away when he realizes, oh, fuck, she did find something. I've got to, come up with all these reasons why, like she's wrong or she's a liar or this or that, I don't know.
I mean,
guys, go ahead.
One thing I will kind of point out, I figure Lot seems to want to be in that city a lot, even though it's, and I know I just said Lot twice, but even though it's apparently not an amazing place to be and people are acting terribly and not showing hospitality because people forget that's what this story is about, he still stays there. Even when he's told he needs to leave, he needs to get physically kicked out of the city to leave the place. So when people are going to bring up Sodom and Gomorrah, I'm going to be like, listen, your prophet was very happy living there, staying there, even God told him to get out. Like, he had to get his angels to evict Lot.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, we're going to be ending the show here, but before I go, I want to thank all of my amazing mods and all of you who just became my new mods. If you'd like to help, with me, just hit me in my DMs. Also, hang on, I want to show you guys something. Let me grab something real quick here. You guys know who Robot Joe is? Robot Joe is a creator on this app too, and she needs call screeners. I'm sorry, they. Please apologize. I hate that I did that. They need call screeners, so they're doing a giveaway, and once a month or whatever, because they crochet really cool hats and stuff like that. And I thought I want to do something for the people who help me. So I'm doing a giveaway of 3D printed items. Like, this is my dragon. So if you volunteer for me and you check in on the Discord every time you volunteer, you can get something printed each month. I'll do one mod will win something, and I'll show you the different things I can print, and you can win something cool. Also, don't forget I'm your auntie and host of Auntie Sermons, the podcast. Please go check it out everywhere you listen to podcasts or wherever you used to listen to sermons. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Who is live? Is that a Christian dragon? Are you Christian? No. He said no.
I was going to say somebody needs to talk about the Christian dragon.
He said he's an atheist dragon.
Yeah, I love God so much I scream his name in bed.
All right, well, good.